I'm Lexi Homburg.
Hi, I'm Cy Norton. This is Fair Gallery.
And we are standing in Sonder right now. Sonder's a new show. It just went up this past week. It's basically this new interactive space in the Bear Gallery where you can even recreate the experience remotely. But the idea of the show is that it is an interactive exhibition that has to do with this made-up word by John Koenig. Life is vivid and complex.
It's the awareness of that everybody else is living a life as vivid and complex as yours, with memories and inside jokes and stresses and all that good stuff.
Cool.
And so the purpose of this exhibition is to kind of, I guess, evoke that same sense of empathy and awareness in the audience. So we will take you on a little walkthrough tour of the show.
Basically, the idea of the show is it's very simplified and it's supposed to be it's like a very controlled experience. So you walk up the first ramp and you're like confronted by some text, which basically describes the show over again to you, just so you have like the knowledge coming into it. But just even like with the choice of how this is displayed too, I find it really interesting that you're able to see the reflection of yourself reading it as you're reading it, because as we're saying just over there, that once you're in the space, you're walking into more of an awareness of yourself, and then you kind of leave the show seeing like the awareness of everyone else that's been here. And you're in like a constant orbiting movement. But basically, the first thing, after this wall text, you're kind of confronted by the clock and the light bulb. And in the wall text, you learn that the clock is actually representative of the moon, and the light is representative of the sun. So it sort of becomes this microcosm of a galaxy in which you're walking through, and you're able to stop and like freeze time almost, even though time is like ticking around you. But you kind of change like this like pattern of physics that is so like normalized by the actual solar system, that once you're standing like where Saya is, you can turn any direction that you want, and you can really sit between this space and kind of actualize like on like a smaller scale or like a higher scale of what is happening like in the world and the universe that we live in on any level that you want. And anyone can be coming in here with like, everyone is coming in here with a different experience. So anyone that finds themselves in this spot is probably, you can think about it in a lot of different ways, but everyone is coming in with their own experiences and stopping at this one place, having a completely like matched experience, but also it's
Entirely unique.
Entirely up to that person's.
As we continue along here, we have a little stand where people can make a mark on our note cards with a pencil, and we aren't giving any kind of prompt or any guidance. It's entirely up to whatever you want to write. And so as we go along the wall, we ask people to also tack them up on the wall afterwards. Oh yes, and white out their mark. So we have this kind of almost half concealed like remnants, I guess, of what people have left behind.
Yeah, so basically like it's like this transfer of energy from like the table to the wall, and like that experience from like standing between the clock and the light comes to this like another halt, which allows you to like like actively respond to whatever is like happening inside your body, and your body's able to then like conceal that message. However, you basically can cover any message you leave and then bring it to the wall. And then it's kind of funny because as the show has been going on, like more note cards have been appearing on the wall, and you can sort of see a lot of what people are leaving behind. And like, I know when I went through my couple of times, like I was like, okay, I'm really gonna make this hidden. Like I don't want anyone to see what I want to write down. But basically it's interesting to see just like what is coming out of this show like over time and how it's like growing across this wall.
We also, the act of tacking your note card to the wall is intentional. We want to kind of continue that transfer of energy, and we have you interacting with the space as you walk through it, but to actually be able to physically put something on the wall and make it a part of the exhibit, I think is important.
This show really just tries to allow you to pay attention to like every little detail, and we really tried to like clear that up for anyone by having really like a minimal setup. But like even like my shadow like on the wall that's like coming from the light, it's like another reminder again, kind of like with the wall text, is how we are existing in front of this light.
And you occupy this space as you move through it.
Yeah, and you have like control to go through again and like change their experience or build on more experiences, and like maybe even learn about some like anonymous life that already passed through beforehand. Yeah, and so but then once you keep walking, we're then also brought up to you are introduced to the word orbit, and that is kind of like the ending to the walkthrough. But it's not limited to one orbit, because like if you think of it even on like an astronomical standpoint, like you are continuously going and the clock is continuously ticking. But to even reference like even some future ideas that we're even having, time seems to be coming up a lot with like our next project that's coming up, and reference to like our relationship to these like objects that accumulate in a space, and just thinking about our own interpretations.
So thank you for coming on this little orbit journey with us, and if you want to do another orbit, you can just rewatch the video.
Also you can send us your own remote experiences outside of the gallery too, by setting yourself up between your own clock and your own light bulb variation.
And that is at bare.gallery on Instagram. BARE.GALLERY.